What's up, champ? I'm Vince Del Monte, and in this video, we're going to discuss 3 tips that I recently used in my last 8-week training cycle to achieve this photo here. I post this on my Instagram here. As you can see, I made some really awesome gains, and I'll be honest, my nutrition, I wouldn't even have given it a C-. But what I did do really well are these 3 training tips that we're going to talk about here. All right, so if you've got at least 20 pounds that you could add to your frame, if you're someone who doesn't know what their muscle fiber type is, you're going to want to watch this video all the way through. And we're going to teach you guys how to get better gains in the next 8 weeks than you have in the past 8 months. And you're going to do it without living in the gym, without flooding your body with tons of mysterious and silly supplements. And you're going to do it without bone-crushing workouts that aren't designed for your body type. Just in case you're new to this channel, my name is Vince Del Monte. I've been here on YouTube, I kid you not, since 2008. A lot of the fitness YouTubers, they call me the OG, the original gangster. And you know, one of the things I take pride in is being really focused on helping the skinny guy build muscle, because that was my story. I used to be skinny Vinny. I used to be that guy that, I couldn't build muscle for the life of me. And man, I was, embarrassed a lot in high school. I still remember when the hottest girl in school, her name was Paula, she asked me to arm wrestle the captain of the football team, and the guy literally snapped, no, I would have won if I went that way. He snapped my arm right off, and it didn't even look like he was trying, and she said, "Vince, you'd be way hotter if you had bigger arms." That's what she said to me. And I kid you not, that has bugged me ever since high school. So when people make jokes about my arms, you're bugging me because it's a sensitive area and I know what it's like to be scrawny. So this channel has been dedicated to helping guys like you build muscle the drug-free way without the nonsense. We take pride in making gains without the gear. We own our bodies. We don't rent our body here on this channel. So with all that being said, over the last 10 years, I get a lot of questions on how to build muscle. And it all comes in different shapes and forms. A lot of guys say, should I do compound or should I do isolation exercises, Vince? Some people say, should I be doing a full body or should I be doing a split routine? Other people say, should I be going really heavy or should I be going really light? And the big thing that I've learned over all these years is those questions depend on one thing. What's that one thing? What's your muscle fiber type? It depends on how you're built. It depends on your genetic code, if you will. All right? We're all built different ways. I was built as a long-distance runner. If you put me under heavy weights, I'm beat up for days. And vice versa. You put a heavy guy or big guy, like a football player, on a high-rep program, he shrivels up and he makes no gains. We have different genetic codes, if you will. Muscle fiber types. If you don't know your muscle fiber type before you go any further in the video, click the link right above me and it'll take you to a page where you can figure that out. If you're on your phone, click the first link in the description and it'll take you to a page again where you can figure out your muscle fiber type, and then you'll go to another page where it'll teach you how to train for your fiber type, because there's some key strategies that will help you get more from the same amount of time you're currently spending in the gym. All right? And that's why sometimes you see 2 guys, they both have they're both going to the gym, they're both training hard, they're both eating the same. One guy's making gains and one guy's not making gains. Explain that to me. Well, one guy's training for his fiber type and the other guy's not. It really comes down to that. So, okay, I'm kind of diversing, but this is very important stuff, and I want to come back to the topic here. I want to talk about 3 tips I use for my best gains in the last 8-week training cycle. All right, so let's dig in here, some cool information. Okay, point number 1, or tip number 1, is to use lower volume and higher frequency to build your body. All right? So what I did in the last 8 weeks, you're not going to believe how much volume I did or how little volume I did, depending on how you want to look at it. But the way the program was laid out was this. I'll get to that in a second. Don't look at that. So we did upper, lower, upper, lower, upper, lower. So 6 training sessions per week, 3 on the upper body, 3 for the lower body. However, each training session only had me doing 1 to 2 all-out ball busting, go till you blow sets. Dorian Yates style. All out, go to failure. using max heavy loads, but it was only one set. It was one of the toughest training cycles of my life because I kid you not, like 75% of the workout is just spent doing the warm-up sets to get you ready to find that right load for the first work set. And then you chase the volume or the rep number, whatever the day, whatever goal, whatever the workout goal was for that day, which I'll get into in the tip number 2. But what you want to understand is that all I did was 1 to 2 all-out sets per body part per workout. So over the course of the week, I did 3 to 6 total sets per body part. That's it. Most people do like 3 to 6 times like 5 exercises per body part and they're not making gains. So they're doing like 15 to 30 sets for one body part and they're not growing. Well, what's that all about? Too much volume. Write this down if you've never heard this before. You are what you can recover from. And I think one of the reasons this training cycle worked really well for me is because I just went through a very stressful last 8 weeks. I wasn't eating that great. We're selling our home and it's not selling. We're moving to a new city. We've got a lot of paperwork and all this crazy stuff with the bank and the business has to move on. I got 2 young kids. Life's crazy right now, yet I'm still training, so I have to consider all those things. So I think the lower volume and the higher frequency, what it did was it helped me stay in anabolic mode because I'm stimulating muscle and recovering. I'm stimulating, recovering. So my body spends more time in growth mode as opposed to somebody who's doing too much volume, not able to recover, so they're in catabolic mode. All right? It's very, very important. All right, so that was the training cycle. For some of you guys wondering, what are you doing next training cycle? I'm actually taking a very similar approach because it was so effective, but we're changing the training split, and I'll get into that in probably a future video. Let's move on to tip number 2. All right, so the next tip is that your workouts have to be dedicated to different goals. All right, what we know is that there's 3 mechanisms of muscle growth: muscle damage, mechanical tension, and metabolic stress. I call it DTS training. All right, so my program, remember the split, upper, lower, upper, lower, upper, lower? Well, each workout had a different goal. So these 2 workouts were dedicated to tension. Another way to describe this is peak tension. Peak tension is a concept we haven't talked about in the channel but here before, and it basically means a maximal load. It means a heavy ass weight. So we want peak tension. We want to recruit as many muscle fibers as possible. So we might not be recruiting them for a long time where there's a lot of fatigue and cell swelling, but that's not the goal. The goal of this workout, these were my heavy days, by the way. So I got my squat, some of you guys are going to be like, that's not very impressive, Vince, but for me it was very good. I got my squat up to 355 raw for 5 reps. I got my incline bench press up to 255 raw for 5 reps. And that was the most I've lifted in 10 years. So for me, those were personal bests. And that's what these 2 days were dedicated to. These 2 days were dedicated to muscle damage. And that's when we did mechanical advantage drop sets. Over the last couple weeks, we've been uploading a lot of videos from the muscle camp in Las Vegas. And we were showing you guys how to do this technique, so I won't jump into it here. And then on the last 2 days of the week, that was our stress workout. And this was my first introduction to occlusion training. Some of you guys might have seen the vlog. I was doing the occlusion training with blood flow restriction training with the occlusion wraps. And it was awesome. A lot of you guys probably noticed that my arms have got bigger over the last 8 weeks. And I swear that stuff is legit. All right, I've seen some bodybuilders kind of mock it and think it's a joke. But I did it myself and I loved it. And I'm still using it. So anyways, those were the stress days. So these days were dedicated to, I want you guys to notice the difference here. So we had peak tension days, and here we had peak stress days. All right, so we really focused on maximum stress. So that's where we focused on not just recruiting muscle fibers, but fatiguing the muscle fibers. Crazy high rep sets, like 2 sets of 50 with 30 seconds rest, and like really crazy high reps, drop sets, anything you can imagine. That was this day, okay? And that was the structure of the workout, all right? So your tip number 2 is that your workouts need to have different goals. If you want to have this all like laid out for you, done for you, and you want to experience this yourself, just invest in any of my paid programs. We lay this out step by step. There's no guesswork. This is all figured out. So you can actually experience it and be like, ah, now I see why he does it like this. All right? Take that muscle fiber type quiz. I'll put the link here on the screen again. And after, it'll also tell you about my program, No Nonsense Muscle Building 2.0, which is also dedicated to shredding fat, if that's your goal. And you'll get a customized 18-week program to your muscle fiber type. All right? And you'll see how this stuff is applied with different techniques. All right? That's a cool thing, right? Why people keep buying Vince's programs? Because I teach you guys different techniques in every program. All right, and they're organized in a very skillful way. So it's not like, well, can't I just get this for free on bodybuilding.com? No, this is something I designed step by step. It's organized in a specific way. You can find the concepts and the techniques, but you won't find them organized in a step-by-step plan because it's proprietary to what I created. So anyways, go check it out if you're looking for a program for 2017. Last tip, here we go. The program was customized, can you guys see that? Let's use a different color marker, to my muscle fiber type. All right? So a lot of you guys want to know about the sets. You want to know about the reps, the rest periods, the tempo. Well, those things were unique to how I'm built. Like I was saying at the start of the video, you know, if I try and lift like a power lifter, you know, if I'm like, you know what, this year's the year Vince just gets strong. I'm going to get into a powerlifting competition. I'm wise enough now to know that that would be a horrible decision. I would get beat up, and that would probably take more for me than give back. Now, does that mean that I don't do any strength training? No, absolutely not. However, my rep ranges when I go heavy are customized to me. So maybe on clusters, I might be doing 6s, where a fast twitch guy might be doing doubles. See what I'm saying? So we're going to tweak the rep ranges to how the body's built. And vice versa. You know, I've got a buddy, I mean, put him on the leg extension. He's a fast twitch guy. He's actually a competitive power lifter. And you want to do some hypertrophy stuff. So we were training together, and I'm like, okay, we're going to do a set of 12. And I kid you not, this guy was like quivering. He was like quivering like jello on a set of 12 on the leg extension. Because he never, you know, he's not built for doing, those are high reps for him. For me at 12 reps, I'm just like, then I'm starting to feel my muscles. High reps for me are like 30, 35 reps. That's like a high rep set for a slow twitch guy. But for a fast twitch guy, I mean, he's going to be like, he's going to be on the leg extension, shaking. Oh, holy crap. 12 rep sets is going to crush him. All right, so I can't stress how essential that is. And this is where the entire industry is heading, guys. I mean, if you look at some of the top researchers, I mean, they're all talking about the closer we can get our programs prescribed to our genetic predisposition, the better results you're going to get. And the first thing is just to get in terms with how your body's built. I used to fight against it. I like watch other YouTube videos of guys who've got more views than me. I'd go on Instagram and I'd see these big guys wearing shirts. You know who I'm talking about, lift heavy. And I'd be like, crap, you know, to get more views, I need to start lifting heavy. I need to start, you know, wearing a weight belt and start doing all this powerlifting stuff so I can, you know, impress people with how strong I am. And I tried that and I got beat up and I got hurt. I actually got smaller. Because it kept me out of the gym. I had to pay more money on therapy to get fixed up. Because I didn't want to admit what my fiber type was, and I didn't want to make small tweaks to my programming so that I could work with my body. I could work on my body. No, I was saying it right. So I could work with my body instead of on my body. A lot of you guys are going to the gym and you're working on it, but you're not working with it. You want to work with your body in 2017, or do you want to work on it? If you want to work with your body, you need to know your muscle fiber type. Figure it out, and then take the quiz. I've already told you guys that. If you're still watching, I don't know why you're still here, but here's your final call to action. Take that quiz. Do it right now. You'll be taken to a page that will teach you how and why you need to do this, and then you'll learn about a program. If you'd like to invest a few bucks, less than the price of going to the movies. I know that's a big investment, but if you want to invest in yourself, bet on yourself, take a little risk, and see what it's like to have somebody design something customized to you, then I think you're going to be really happy with your decision, and I'd love to hear how your results are. All right, again, if you're on your phone, you can't click that link, click the first link in the description. I think that's it. Hope those tips were helpful, and we will talk to you guys soon. Be sure to like that vid. Let me know what you want to see in future videos, and if you don't do anything else today, take that muscle fiber type quiz, and we'll see you on the next page.